Welcome back to North of the Broad. Kim Poovey has joined us once again. She is an author. She's also a publisher, and her company is called Dickens Ghost Publishing. And there's going to be an event here at the Pat Conroy Literary Center on March the 27th for folks to learn more about the difference between kind of the traditional publishing and indie publishing. So welcome. Good to see you again.
Good to see you again, too. Thank you for having me.
So again, you continue to write, but the publishing has become a big deal for you.
It is. I don't publish anyone else. As an indie author, it looks better to your readers and to the world if you have an imprint. And so my books are published under my company's name, which is Dickens Ghost Publishing, as you said. It just kind of makes it more professional looking.
Right. So let's get to the basics. What is the difference between traditional publishing and the indie publishing, and why you do your own?
Traditional publishing, generally you submit your work to a publisher. The larger publishing houses are going to require that you have an agent. Smaller ones, not so much. And then if they accept your work, you will go through their publishing process. They have control of all of it. Some of your smaller presses will give you a little bit of insight and let you have some say-so, but generally they have the final say. Your larger houses give you an advance up front, smaller houses not so much. I was traditionally published for my first 2 novels, and then I was kind of plunged into the indie world against my will.
Why? No, why?
My publisher went bankrupt after 17 years, and so I was at a loss. I didn't want to trust another publisher, and so I went through the indie route, screamed and cried and kicked the whole time because it's very difficult if you've never done it. And so 7 years later, I've learned a lot. I have a lot of friends who are authors and want to publish, and they just don't know which way to go. So the purpose of this workshop is to help people understand the ins and outs of traditional, the ins and outs of hybrid, which is kind of in between, and then the ins and outs of indie publishing. And then I will also explain some of the things you need to ask, some of the things you need to research before you're making your decision, because I would never tell anyone which route to take. That's their own personal decision.
Right. So it's going to be 6 to 8 here at the Pat Conroy Literary Center on the March the 27th. It is $40, so you need to register through the center. And so would it be people that either already have something that they want to publish, or they're individuals who are thinking about, so who's your audience?
This is going to sound kind of crazy, everyone really, because a lot of people, they're writing their book, they might not be done with it yet, and they're trying to figure out, where do I go, how am I going to do this? You have to have an end goal to kind of keep you motivated and going. And so I'm hoping that this workshop will help people clarify some of those questions and know what route to take, because you have to do different steps throughout the writing process. And if you're already done and you have a manuscript, then hopefully this will help you know which steps you want to take.
Is indie publishing, you said there are challenges with it, but is it easier because you're in control?
It's beautiful to be in control because it's your art. And in my opinion, when it's your art, you should have the final say. The actual nuts and bolts of going through the process to me were difficult because I'm not technologically advanced. But I've learned them now. And so a lot of people just give up because it is so hard. So if I can help them avoid some of that angst and difficulty, that's what I want to do.
Would you say more and more people are going into kind of the independent publishing side as opposed to the traditional?
It feels like it. It feels like it because, again, you have complete control. But at the same token, you also have complete responsibility. There's no one else to do the work for you. You do 100% of the work.
But you had mentioned earlier, like you have an editor. So you have individuals that are experts in their area that that kind of a collective.
No one can do 100% of writing by themselves. Everyone thinks it's a lonely process. It's not. Even when you're writing, you need others around to encourage and help, give you feedback, writing groups and so forth. And it's the same with indie publishing. You need to decide, do you want to spend your money on an editor, on a marketing, on a publicist, on cover design, and all of that will be covered in the workshop.
Okay, very good. And is there a specific name of it?
Publishing Pursuits.
Oh, Publishing Pursuits.
Publishing
I like
Pursuits.
that. Again.
Traditional versus indie.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good. It'll be on March 27th right here at the Pat Conroy Literary Center from 6 to 8 o'clock. Thank you, Kim Poovey, for being with us today. That sounds very interesting. Yeah,
I hope so.
Should be good. We'll get a good crowd.
Sounds good.